second.
Can you hear it?
Highest score ever.
Can you feel it?
That is the most insane trick that has ever been done.
The sound. The sounds of the past.
The crowd is going crazy here. He's got, oh! Unbelievable.
Defying what you thought was impossible. Proving what is possible.
900. She gets the 900.
A first-time trick.
Wow. In 1080, 10 feet out of the half pipe.
Palmer by a mile.
A legendary performance.
Palmer with the salute for first.
A perfect run.
100. The first time ever.
Pushing us into the future.
That was the craziest thing I have ever seen in my life.
History is calling.
Goodness. That was silly.
25 years of progression. Never to be silenced. The time is now.
Are you kidding me? I did not see that coming at all.
If there's a cheer near me, I'm gonna break it.
She gets it! Incredible!
Oh, he mad.
Oh, go on, King.
This is the X Games.
A gorgeous sunny afternoon here in Aspen Snowmass. It plays host once again to X Games Aspen 2022, third and final day of competition, and we started off with men's ski slopestyle here on the Jeep Slopestyle course. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jimmy Coleman alongside X Games gold medalist Tom Wallish. And well, Tom, we've got a big one to start the party out here today. Here in slopestyle, you need to have the big air tricks as well as the tech rail slavy. Let's talk about Alex Hall after a huge gold medal performance in big air last night.
I can't talk enough about this guy. 2160 spinning into the future last night in ski big air finals on his final jump. Spins at 2160, first time ever done in competition. But slopestyle isn't just about the big air. It's not just about the jumps. He's also so dialed on the rails, coming off a win in X Games real ski on urban rails. So look at this action. Gonna need to see rails and jumps to walk away with the gold here today in slopestyle.
Well, this field has the most parity of any event in X Games history. It's been contested 22 times, and of those 22 gold medals that we've handed out, they've gone to 16 different athletes. We talked about Alex Hall. We have to mention Nick Kepper. He comes into this, your defending gold medalist. Not only that, he's won this 4 total times, including a back-to-back performance here in Aspen in 2014 and 15, Tom.
Yeah, always somebody to look out for. You see him repping that Bengals jersey. He's from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and just one of the most dominant in slopestyle. Won last year. The course was a little different though. Big jumps this year and no quarter pipe features. So can Nick keep up? Can we see another gold medal out of him?
Well, here on the Jeep Slopestyle course, you've got 3 different rail sections at the top, and then the bottom half, you have 3 different jump sections, and the judges are looking for overall impression in each of these individual runs. We started off with an X Games rookie from Norway. This is Sebastian Scherva.
And really talented on the rails, known for 360 switch-up maneuvers like that one right there. So the rails aren't crazy long, and he's able to do a pretzel out of that 360 switch-up. And anytime you're moving slower on these rails, it makes balancing for the whole length of the rail that much harder, but it gives you the ability to do a more tech trick like that. And unfortunately, Sebastian going down on the first jump there. So the course layout this year, we've got 3 rail features and 3 jump features. So in slopestyle like this, 50% of your score will come from the rails and from that technicality and creativity on the rails. The other 50% from the big air tricks, the double corks, the triple corks, those big rotations and big grabs. So unfortunately they're going down, but a lot of time left, jam format. So we'll see. They're gonna get a lot of runs out here to put down their best run.
Listen to you, I can go. Thanks, Doug.
That is James Woods here talking to the comp staff up there. Okay, it's my turn to go. He is a 2-time medalist in this event. He owns 2 bronze medals here on the slopestyle course.
Yeah, I mean, he's got big air tricks and rail tricks, including creativity. You saw him doing a flip out of that top rainbow rail. So upside down, really unique there. Oh, so smooth for Woodsy, as they call him, on that switch 450. Look at the jumps today. They're in perfect shape. Sun is shining. No issues with the speed. Getting the party started. We've already got a triple cork on the mix. Here he is, spinning right side on the final jump. 1440, so back-to-back 1440s there for James Woods.
So a great start for your two-time slopestyle bronze medalist. You mentioned scores earlier. You will not see scores as we roll through this event. The judges do a live ranking. I'll talk more about that in a second, but take a look at the Jeep look view here.
Yeah, love that angle through. You can see that rainbow rail, he just pops off of it, sort of gets the backslide into the underflip out, and here we take a look at the bottom jump. Judges want to see you grabbing the whole rotation, and he does grab that really long. They do want to see you, though, if you go for the tail, if I gotta be critical, if you go for the tail of the ski, they want to see you get all the way out to the very end of it. Otherwise, they call it a Tindy, and it's not scored as well. And
so going back to that scoring thing, no numbers will appear, just names moving around on the leaderboard. The judges are surveying all the action, but they give it a live ranking. They're looking for overall impression on your best run. So we'll see the names jumping around a lot on this leaderboard, and it is a 35-minute jam session out here today on the Jeep Slopestyle courses. We welcome in Canada's Max Moffat.
Really cool, another flip on that top feature, getting the hand plant Misty flip out. And yeah, I mean, still a typical slopestyle run in that regard. You still got to put down your best top to bottom run. So it's got to be full of technical rail tricks, full of perfect jumps. So your best single run, but you're going to get a couple tries at it to really get the rails all dialed and up the ante on these jumps. Max Moffat here. Oh, big rotation, going for the 1620 there. Max diving forward, the double bio rotation. So really cool run, lots of rotations. If anything, I think there maybe was a grab missed on that 1620, and I'm gonna be saying it all day. When it's jam format like this, the athletes get a lot of runs. You really have to be picture perfect on everything. So if you don't get that grab the whole way, it might not seem like much, but to the judges, they have to be harsh on something like that so that they can differentiate this run from every other run. We're gonna see 10 other athletes with 3, maybe even 4 chances to put down runs. So you gotta be strict so that then when that winning run comes, you can really distinguish it.
Yeah, and it's a stacked field. I mean, out of this field of 10, we have 5 prior medalists in this field overall, and it is early on. There is a lot of time left. James Woods sitting in that top spot as we bring in another Norwegian competitor. This is Christian Numendal.
Yeah, Christian really, really dialed on the jumps. Getting through the rail section, fairly technical. That's the 360 switch up on that one, but it's in the jumps. We've seen him win a bunch of big air competitions. He's got big rotations down here. Such a strong skier on the jump section of the course. Wow, squeaking, just barely getting that right side 1440 around. And off to a 16. So you can tell, I mean, just after seeing these first 4 guys go, I'm seeing 1620s, 1440s, triple corks. And what all those numbers mean to me is that it is gonna be an absolute huck fest today. You're really gonna need to do some of those very highly technical jumps that normally are reserved for the big air competitions. You're gonna have to link them all up on this picture perfect Jeep Slopestyle course if you're gonna wanna get a top score.
This is Mac Forehand. Now, he is an X Games rookie this weekend. He woke up yesterday thinking he was a big air alternate and found himself on the podium last night with a silver medal.
Yeah, I mean, talk about getting your X Games career started off right. Coming out, getting that last second invite, and then taking full advantage of it to walk away with a gold medal. He was trying tricks he's never done before in that big air last night, and you saw a little bobble up top on those rails while we were talking. He just, if you come off early on any of that, it's just gonna make it really hard to have the full top to bottom run, a T to B, if you will. And Mac here, he knows that he's gonna have to have that full run. So if the rails aren't picture perfect clean, it's not worth doing those highly technical jump tricks that are scary, difficult. You know, you might go down on. You gotta save that for that run where you really nailed everything up to that point. So Mac here, his friends call him Dale. Always one to watch out for, though. I mean, he's good on those rails, too. Just a little bobble throws him off, and keeping it mellow, which to me, a switch double cork 12 isn't mellow. I'd be excited to be out there doing that today, but for him, that's a warm-up trick for more to come.
Yeah, he found himself at the top of the leaderboard last night, had to settle for silver, but still, how about that for your rookie X Games performance? And we will see a lot of him with 28 minutes still left to go here. Well, Andre Rigetli has won 3 Crystal Globes in slopestyle, so there is nobody better to take us down the course than him right now.
Really technical. I mean, Andre's so tech on the rails. Just look at this stuff.
Yeah, and he's looking for a little bit of redemption out here today after last night. He had a bit of a rough go there in the big air competition last night. You needed 2 big scores to find yourself on the podium. He had 1 good run last night, but he couldn't get it done in that last round. So he is hungry, and he is looking for it out here today on the Jeep Slopestyle course.
And he really is a fun follow on TikTok, on social media. He is so creative, does so many other crazy things other than skiing. He ran 10 kilometers barefoot in shorts recently. I have no idea why. Sounds absolutely miserable to me, but that's the kind of training he does. Andre here in the rail. So, okay, he's bobble. I mean, that to me wasn't a major bobble up top, but Andre knows, and all these athletes know, you really have to be perfect. I can't say it enough. You have to be so dialed in, grind to the end of every single one of those rail features, land super smoothly, not only on the jumps, but also on the rails. That way you can get, it's hard to not say the highest score because there's no scores, but you want to move to the top of that ranking. It really has to be a top to bottom better than anybody else's run so far.
So James Woods still sits in that top spot for right now. Andre's going to slide into that number 4 position, but it's James Woods, Max Moffitt, Mac Forehand, your top 3, with still a little over 27.5 minutes to go as we take a look at Colby Stevenson from Park City, Utah. Won the Dew Tour Slopestyle contest just down the road in Copper Mountain last month.
Yeah, and he did that battling it out with his good friend and American teammate, Alex Hall. They've been battling it out these last year or two, really. Every single event, 1 or 2 of them pushes each other, and it's a battle for first and second. Oh, Colby Stevenson, the double flat spin, 1260, going 2 different grabs on that one. So unique. Not a lot of athletes out there in the field doing that, and anytime you're doing something different than the other athletes, judges reward accordingly. Oh,
Colby just slipping up there on that last hit.
Oh, his ski is just barely outside of the binding there. It looks like it almost popped out, but I mean, that first jump is so unique. The double flat spin, double rodeo 12, and then he's going for the big switch 12, switch 1620, excuse me, at the bottom there.
Verizon and ESPN are collaborating through their ESPN Edge partnership to define the future of sports broadcasting. Download the X Games app now to experience multi-view 180 and 360-degree cameras that could one day be used at every major ESPN event. So a tough break there for Colby. That's going to put him in that number 5 spot. However, still lots of time. They're going to get multiple runs at it here. Taking a look at Evan McEachran. Good to see him in the lineup out here today. He took a couple of big knocks last night in that big air competition. Actually withdrew himself from that event, middle of it last night.
Yeah, really tough night for him. He just lost one of his skis on the takeoff of one of those massive rotations and then just had a heavy slam. But talk about a warrior, like the grit and toughness to come back out here onto the slope course today. I know he's got to be sore, but he's not looking sore or out of it at all. This is a great run here. 1440 to the left or to the right, but not gets that landing. So he's really dialed at those switch rotations. Look for him, he does a right side big spin. So switch right side, 14, and then he can do that to the left. Can even do up to an 1800, 5 full rotations to the left. So that combination at the end, if he gets it, is key to getting on the podium.
So we take a look at Alex Hall here. We talked about him at the top of the show. Your gold medalist from last night in the big air comp, and you talked about his tech rail skills.
Yeah, I mean, he's learned these rail skills, obviously in the park, but he's and we jinxed him with the tech rail skills. That looked a little sticky. The rail maybe a little grabby for him, but I mean, this guy is out there hitting urban rails constantly, and I love it. He's filming segments. He put out a full part last year, won the X Games Real Ski event with tons of urban rail clips. It's just so cool to see him going outside of the sport of slopestyle, outside of the competition field, and doing that sort of core urban aspect of it. And usually it leads to some of the techest rail runs that we ever see, but I mean, when you're trying something so technical, if you get stuck on one of those rails, that's gonna be it for your run. So, I mean, our gold medalist from last night is gonna be looking to that next run.
You know, that just echoes to what you were saying earlier. I mean, not to critique every little thing, but I mean, that's the job that the judges have. I mean, they are looking at every little thing, looking at the minutia of these runs, and it's going to take absolute perfection. As we talked about it before, 22 gold medals handed out in the history of this event, and 16 different athletes have taken those wins over the years. Speaking of it, we're looking at a 4-time gold medalist in this event, Nick Gepper, and he has problems here in round one.
I mean, so unfortunate to fall in that first rail trick, but it is a really incredibly tech maneuver. He's doing a 360 switch up, and that rail's cool because there's a close out, we call it, a rail going sideways, perpendicular to those other two rails, and it makes it really sketchy if you were to catch a tip or a tail on that. Doing a tech trick around that, oh, just so cool. Nick here using this as a warm-up run, but still, I mean, absolutely sending it. That's a 1440. This is a precursor, a little warm-up for what we're gonna see. And there's the big 10. So right there.
Big W yesterday for the Bengals. Love to see it.
So a little bit of a slow start here in round one. We've seen a couple of competitors have some hiccups here as of right now. It's the UK's James Wood sitting in the top spot. We'll have more from the Jeep Slopestyle course when we come back to X Games Aspen.
X Games Aspen is brought to you by Wendy's, the official breakfast of X Games Aspen.
Welcome back, everyone, to Buttermilk here at X Games Aspen. Look who else is at X Games. It's Nat Geo here, encouraging fans to snap a photo with their giant yellow border, a symbol of curiosity and a reminder that every day can be filled with adventure. Check out the @NatGeo and @NatGeoAdventure Instagram handles for unique photographs of X Games athletes. So that's over there in the X Fest, but here on the Jeep Slopestyle course, we are just getting underway. We've had one round of runs here thus far. We still have lots of time left on this jam session clock before we hand out some hardware in this competition. Before we continue on, let's check in right now with Victoria Arlen.
Thanks, Jimmy. You know, the sun is out. There's not a cloud in the sky. This is the first time that I've ditched my jacket and gloves all weekend long, but the vibe here is super chill. Guys are kind of trying to still get their footing, get a lay of the land and the speed of the course, but there's plenty of time for them to dial it in. It's chill. Everyone's having a good time up here. Great visibility, great speed. It's going to be an epic second run.
I think so as well. I think a lot of them are still trying to process what in the heck just happened last night in that ski big air competition, but we'll get through it. It's going to be an exciting finish, I promise you. A couple of rookies in the field out here. We started off here in round two with one of them. This is Sebastian Scherba. Sits in that number 9 spot as of right now.
Utah.
Oh, there you go.
So smooth through those rails, really technical, but just not gonna go for the big jump tricks here. We saw just that 540 there, but there's the big spin. Diving double bio. Really unique rotation there for Sebastian. Super smooth on that final jump. Really cool rotation. Love to see them rotating. It's different when you dive forward and get that bio instead of the cork.
Didn't hear you for a second. I thought you walked out of the booth on me right there. Had a little bit of a microphone issue to start that run.
Yeah, I was just enjoying it.
Sometimes it's good to take a beat and just watch things unfold, Tom.
And I enjoyed that trick. I'll tell you what, the switch double 1620 with the tail grab, but he messed that rail up top, and I keep saying it.
Oh, that puts him up. He goes from 9th all the way up into the number 3 position. So nicely done here in round 2 as we move on to our next competitor, who happens to be your current leader right now. This is Great Britain's James Woods.
Lot of runs still to come, and Woods, what a great way to start it off. You put down a first run, and then the pressure's kind of off. I mean, you still obviously have to improve on that. He had places in that run where he could have been a little smoother, got the grab a little better, but either way, you put one down, and now you don't feel that pressure to land the next run. You know you can go out and improve on it without having a crash or a fall and really not having a score down, and he knows missed the grab on that first jump. So just gonna do a big front flip there for us, laying out the lawn dart, and there's the big switch double. So definitely capable of a switch triple cork. So maybe warming something up and something we can look forward to in the next couple runs.
So as of right now, it's James Woods, Max Moffitt, and Sebastian Sherva, your 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and look at this. I love this angle, that Verizon angle. You see, you can look at all this stuff, 180 degrees, 360 degree angles, and you can see that backslide, under flip out, and this is for the fans at home. I mean, nothing better than laying out a lawn dart front flip, checking out that landing, and just something Woodsy does so well, makes it look so easy.
Let's get it.
So he'll take a ride back up top and see if that number 1 position holds up throughout the rest of this competition. Max Moffitt currently sitting in a silver medal position as of right now. He has one prior X Games appearance that was 2 years ago here in Aspen, where he finished 13th in slopestyle.
Really cool, misty, sort of 900 off the top there. He does a hand plant, spins it around. Oh, these rails are epic with that very, very unique flip over the top rail into some technical moves, reaching out there for the tip of the ski, the nose grab, all the way out on the tip. Max Moffitt, a great run going here. 1440 looks to mirror that, going to the right. 1620, and a perfect, picture-perfect landing for Max Moffitt there on the final jump.
So what do you think? Is this going to be enough to maybe overtake that top spot?
That is tough. This is definitely a really great run. Similar to Woodsy, he's doing a flip over that top rainbow rail, except he's doing a hand plant. So diving forward, let's take a look at these grabs. Looks like he gets all the way to the end on that one. I mean, I love those landings. Some of the smoothest landings, smoothest style in skiing. No triple cork, but he does have that 1620, which is a massive rotation.
Well, taking a look into the judges booth down there, they are working hard, deliberating and loading their scores into their iPads.
Yeah.
And it is. That will take Max Moffitt ahead of James Woods. He finds himself in that number 1 spot as we are just under 20 minutes left to go here on the Jeep Slopestyle course. So a big run right there here in round number 2. Christian Newmandahl from Norway in for round 2.
So frontside switch up, frontside 270 out. Technical, but also still relatively simple rail trick when you're only spinning frontside. But that is anything but simple. Pretzeling 450 out of that down rail, gapping to it. So tough. Already cleaning things up too on this jump. So he had that slightly awkward leaning. Oh, you can even hear him. I mean, these rotations, the grab is so essential, not only to your score or your ranking for the judges to see, but the grab is what makes the rotation come around and get your feet back under you. And missing the grab there on that second jump, and then he's not able to fully flip the rotation. And as soon as that grab goes away, he knows that's it for me.
Well, X Games rookie Mac Forehand took silver in big air last night and is going for another medal today. Earlier, he gave us a trick tip.
What's up, guys? Mac Forehand here at the top of the X Games Slopestyle course, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a switch 270 onto down rail. Base of this trick is doing a switch tails onto the rail. I like to go into the trick with my feet pretty staggered and my head looking over my left shoulder. Pretty much you want to get your tails up, be as patient as you possibly can, and then do that 270 at the end of the trick. So when you're looking down at the rail, it should be coming right under your feet, and you land on the rail and you can either lock in, go to forward, go to switch, blind 270, press 270. There's just a ton of endless options you can do once you learn this trick. I use switch shoes, but mostly every comp I go to, I really like that trick a lot. It's really consistent for me. And once you land that trick, it's just a perfect kind of ender for your run to go into the first jump and then finish the rest of your slopestyle run.
Little trick breakdown there, courtesy of your Big Air silver medalist. And phone technology just keeps getting crazier and crazier, Tom. That entire piece shot on an iPhone.
Yeah, amazing. And what a good trick. I mean, the switch 270, you never lose sight of the rail. So a really great competition trick because you can see that rail and know where you're going to land on it. It's really solid to be, you know, sort of safe and be dialed and not expect to come up early. And Mac making it look easy there. He's doing the switch 270 into a pretzel 450. So kind of the hardest variation of that one you can do. And huge rotation, 1620 off the top. Switch 1260, so big trick. Still one more jump to go. Oh, right side 16. So close. Mac forehand with the momentum coming off that silver medal last night, going for two different, a left and a right side 1620 in that run.
Well, he's still just outside that top three for now. He sits on that transfer spot for now as we take another look at Andre Rigetti. Again, looking for redemption. He had a rough go last night in Big Air. And that first run here on the Jeep Slopestyle course currently finds him in the number 7 spot.
Yeah, those rankings are probably going to change a lot. I feel like we've seen a lot of bobbles on the top rail sections, and once all these guys put together a solid full run, it is going to be so hard to differentiate those top 3 to 6 spots. Andre there getting through the rails clean with a nice switch up on that final one. Switch, double 1260, diving forward, that double Misty. That one was to the right, spinning to the left on that one, and look for another big switch, left side rotation on this final jump. Wrapping it up, stomping the switch, double 16. So one of the only guys out here doing 2 different bio rotations. He's diving forward, bio, Misty, whatever you want to call it, diving forward on the first jump and on that final 3rd jump. Really technical up top too. I mean, that was a full run. This has definitely got a challenge for those top spots, especially with that grab. Take a look in slow. You can really tell all the way out on the tail. Judges want to see you getting right out to the top, and then here, wraps it up, gets the safety. I mean, no hands down, grabs were locked, rails were clean. It's gonna be big on the rankings.
It's big enough to move him all the way up into the top spot. So after a rough outing last night in Big Air, he finds himself in the driver's seat here with 15.5 minutes to go here on the Jeep Slopestyle course. Nicely done by Andre Rigetti. Here comes Colby Stevenson.
So smooth on that top rail. I love the way he spins on with that closeout feature, sort of that perpendicular rail there to just cause havoc. He's still able to balance through it and gap it. And another trick there, the backslide maneuver. 1 foot only down on that rail.
Only one doing that trick like that with the double Japan.
Switch. Oh, 1440, so a little squirrely there. Still able to keep this full run together. It's not picture perfect, but full run top to bottom, so definitely build. That score's gonna be better. That ranking's gonna be better. He's gonna move up. I don't know if that challenges the podium just because of a few of those bobbles. Grabs, not quite perfect on that last jump. Maybe a little off on that landing. Let's see again on this. Look at that, the tips clear, that closed out feature. So perfect to the end, but this is that backslide. So anytime you're grinding a rail with only 1 foot on the rail, much harder to balance. You have no leverage. You lean forward or back, you fall over and slip out instead of being able to just grind the whole rail. So really technical.
Well, that moves him up quite a bit. He was in 9th pre-run. As you mentioned, it's not going to challenge for the podium, but it puts him up in that number 4 spot as of right now. So rolling into round number 2 here for Canada's Evan McEachran.
Yeah, this jam format, they're hustling. Everybody wants to get as many runs in as possible. And when that clock starts ticking down, you know, you only have so much time to get a great run in, and you just want to keep it going. You're excited to go again. And Evan there, I mean, a little bobble and then just going to skip these rails. Again, we got to talk about the fact that he is absolutely one of the toughest guys I know. To be out here today, if you had watched Big Air last night and see some of the crashes this guy took trying the hardest tricks in skiing, just so impressive. He's out here throwing down today and keeping up with the best slopestyle skiers in the world.
No matter what you set out to do, people will say you shouldn't, couldn't, can't, aren't allowed to, and probably won't. Which is what makes it feel so good when you go back and tell them that you did. Jeep, there's only one.
So now we take a look at Alex Hall here. We talked about his just crazy performance in Big Air last night to net him that gold. He finds himself down there kind of at the bottom of the pack right now in that number 7 spot.
And right off the bat there, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that throws him off. Just coming off that first rail just a tiny bit early for a guy who's so capable, so confident on these rail features. That initial one, it just makes, it puts you in just like a weird state when it's not perfect, not how you imagined it. On the jumps though here, right side 1080, so big spin on the top hit, a right side spin there on the second, and yeah, you know, taking a look at that, we saw something really cool out of Alex last night. He started the event off by doing a really unique trick, a right side double cork 9 pullback, and he thought it was gonna get scored. He wanted to go creative with it, and then realized, look, the judges wanna see the big rotations, so you know what, I'm not going creative, I'm going big spins, and that's what he went for. And here, I think he's hoping to add that trick to his slopestyle run as we see this amazing in-air follow. I think he wanted to bring that one back to switch and then a big switch rotation at the end. So trying to switch it up and make this run a little bit more creative, a little bit more unique for us.
So that's going to bump him up 1 spot from 7th into 6th with 12 minutes left to go here on the Jeep Slopestyle course. Well, Shred Hate, Choose Kindness is a bullying prevention program created by ESPN and X Games. Let's hear how Nick Gepper shreds hate and chooses kindness.
Okay. Bullying has become an epidemic in our country, especially on social media. We're teaming up with X Games on this important topic because we could all use a little more kindness in our lives. I used to get a fair bit of bullying on social media when I was younger, and I realized that it was really easy to stop, and I just turned it off. You can't change the way that others treat you, but you can treat other people with respect, and you can carry yourself like a champ. If you see somebody getting bullied, you can reach out to them, you can step in, or you can tell them to just put the phone down. They don't need to look at it. Choose kindness, choose respect, choose to shred hate.
Did you know that 1 out of every 5 students is bullied in the United States? Here at X Games, we're aiming to change that grim statistic with the Shred Hate Choose Kindness program. For more info, check out disney.com/choose-kindness. Is he rocking the Bengals jersey right now and in that piece?
Oh yeah, he's got the full Who Day outfit on here today after a big win yesterday. You know he's excited and in a good mood.
The Bengals are shredding their own haters yesterday with their first franchise playoff road win.
Oh, Nick, so technical on these rails. I mean, that is the pride of Perfect North, Indiana. So small resort, but lots of rail features where he got so good at all those highly technical spin, trick, switch ups, everything like that. And then here on the jump, he always excels. Oh, and you hear, I jinx him. That was a classic case of the announcer jinx because he does have that left side trick. We saw it perfectly in the previous run, but here the rails are better and then just misses the grab, misses that rotation. And I still think we're gonna see a triple cork in that last run. last jump there. He just needs a full pull, needs a full run where everything's going clean, and there, look at the tweak. That's where he's gonna go for an extra flip, extra rotation, and that's a complete package run if he gets those rails up top, followed by that 14 and triple.
So your defending gold medalist sitting in the bottom of the pack right there actually puts him up into 5th as of right there. So he bumps up 5 spots, but still on the outside looking in as we approach the 11-minute mark. It looks like this could possibly be the last round of runs coming up. So after 2 runs, we find Andre Rigetli sitting in the top spot. We'll have the conclusion of men's ski slopestyle here on the Jeep Slopestyle course when we come back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. And more importantly, we're happy to have the fans back after a 1-year hiatus. Taking a look in the X-Fest area and the Pacifico Silver Bullet trailer right there. That has been party central out here all weekend long. And well, Tom, you couldn't ask for better conditions out here for the 3rd and final day of competition.
Yeah, and I know where I'm gonna be at the end of this 3rd and final day, right there enjoying a beer at the end of this. I mean, this event and last night's events, all the skiing and snowboarding I'm losing my mind watching some of the insane action we've been watching all weekend.
Well, we have more insane action still to come here on the Jeep Slopestyle course. We go back up to the top of the order and bring back in Sebastian Scherva.
Had an improvement on the last run, but the rail wasn't quite the same as that. That's that 360 switch up, pretzel out. And when I say pretzel, I'm describing the way he spins. When you spin on and off the same way, we would say continuing. You would just say 270, 270. You would name the rotation, but when you stop the rotation, come back, that's a pretzel. There's that switch 16. So not as clean as that previous run. The rails were better, but the jumps not quite as good. But there's the big rotation to finish things off. So the second jump was maybe not quite as clean as we saw in the previous run, but then he goes absolutely bananas with that huge double bio on the final jump. Locks a grab in the whole time, and I mean, out and about. This is happening.
Well, before we drop him, 5-time X Games medalist James Woods has been competing in this event since 2013, so he has a lot he can share with us. Let's take a listen.
Hi guys, I'm James Woodsy. I'm from the UK and I like to go skiing. As far as motivation is concerned, I love this. This is my life and it's my favorite thing. It's what I've aspired to since I was a grommet.
We're gonna act like that was sick.
I think the individuality is a massively important thing. That's what makes you stand out. Because of course, technical ability is incredible. Like anyone can see that.
Wow,
But you know, when you see someone do it just a little bit different and they've got that flavor, they've got a little bit of something special, and I think that's amazing. I'm just lucky that some people think I have something like that. I try my best to look good while I'm doing what I do, but I'm stoked it shows up when I'm about.
Well, he does own 2 medals in this event. He happens to have 2 bronze slopestyle medals to his name, and he was looking at possibly a 3rd, but right now Sebastian Scherva bumps him down. James was in that number 3 spot, but with that last run, Sebastian Scherva now finds himself in that number 3 position, so James is going to get a chance to answer back here in round 3.
Yeah, a lot to be said about that final jump. That last trick was just so big, so well grabbed, that's what's going to help. And Woodsy here off to the side. I mean, just binding issues maybe coming off. I mean, the rails going for those technical moves, and if you come off the rail a little early or miss your trick at all, run's ruined. And it's sad because these jumps, we love to see them throw down on these jumps, and I know we're going to get a show here. Front flips, I mean, this is for the crowd out here in Aspen and also at home. I mean, these are the tricks you love to see. The smaller rotations, these are just the smooth ones, no big 16s, just Nice smooth skiing from Woodsy, including a switch double backflip. I mean, that was outrageous.
See how, number one, the pop that he got off that lip, and two, how deep he sent that into the landing.
Yeah, that's huge, and that's fun, but Woodsy gonna have to look to that next run.
We are under the 10-minute mark here. Again, he got bumped out of the top 3. Sebastian Scherva here in this 3rd round moves into that number 3 spot. Andre Rigetli still sitting in that number 1 position. Max Moffat in that last round, he bumped himself up to a number 2 position.
Max, I mean, I love that Misty 900 hand plant. Like, who does that? I mean, looking at that feature, that rainbow rail up top, never would I have thought of that trick, and Max makes it look easy. That was an incredibly clean rail section, so technical. All the way out on that nose grab here. Max Moffat, known for his landings and his smooth style. Another beautiful 1440. Can he do another massive double bio here at the end? Oh! Just about a foot or two of airtime away from tweaking that around. Max so close there. That's very similar to the run we saw previously. So it'd be tough to know if that's going to be an improvement, if that could get him above Andre, but he's trying to just clean it all up.
So again, it's Andre Rigetli, Max Moffat, Sebastian Scherva, your 1, 2, 3 here as we are just under 9 minutes left to go here on the Jeep Slopestyle course. We got Christian Newmandahl doing next. He's had a bit of a rough go. He's down there at the bottom of the pack in that number 9 spot. And if you're just joining us, just to recap, we do not have scores here. This is a live ranking, so you'll see the names move around on the leaderboard here, but you won't see numbers next to those names. The judge is basically looking for overall impression on your best run of the day.
Yeah, so it can always change. I mean, you can be at the bottom of that ranking, put down an amazing run, and move all the way to the top. Your best run. And they're keeping track of all these runs and knowing, comparing and contrasting the tricks in each of them. And Christian, just a little bobble up top. He's still going through this run, looking for big jumps to counteract some of those mistakes on the top rail section.
Landing on that last line.
Oh, smooth, going 1260 there. So bringing the degree of difficulty on the degrees of rotation down there to kind of get this one all the way to the bottom. And another crash for Christian, so it's Christian, that's not gonna get him up into any of those top podium places.
Yeah, when we keep talking about how you're down at the bottom, there's still a chance, because literally when it comes down, and we possibly, with time, we possibly will get another round of runs, and if that happens, I mean, even if you're down, you are still not out in this competition, as we welcome in Mac Forehand for run number 3.
Yeah, keep an eye on that clock. I'm watching it closely. Right now, looks like we'll get 3, maybe potentially a 4th run, which would be amazing to see another run out of all these athletes, another chance to go for absolutely broke in all the technicality we could get. I mean, Mac Forehand just so smooth. 1620 up off that first jump, which is the smallest of these 3 big jumps. 1260 there, holding that grab. Final jump, look for that right side 1620 again. Oh, the landing. Mac Forehand comes in with an absolute afterbang. Right side, double cork 1620.
See the reaction from the crowd, and you can hear it from him when he says, "Let's go." And again, I mean, you can imagine what he's feeling after that bigger performance last night.
I mean, talk about no jitters for this X Games rookie as he comes out into this bottom jump. The crowd's watching. Silver medal last night. Look at this landing. I mean, never left the ground. The hands are at the side, looking back uphill.
Let's go.
That's going to be a big improvement. Will it get him up on that leaderboard?
So the judge is down there in the booth deliberating yet again on this one. These guys had their work cut out for them last night, and they have it cut out for him here again today. Is it going to be enough? Wow, Mac Forehand jumps up into silver medal position. So the judge is putting in work on those iPads down there in the booth, and it puts an X Games rookie into that silver medal position. So he gets a silver medal last night in big air and puts himself here in round 3 in contention to possibly take home another one, as we welcome back in Andre Rigetli, who is your current leader.
Current leader coming off a great run, and something to be said too, Andre is just barely back from a knee injury. He got injured at the end of last season, hurt his knee rehabbed all summer, and this is only his second event back. I mean, he competed in Big Air last night, did one World Cup. He's fresh back to the scene and already back throwing down absolute hammers of runs, including that run we saw before that has him sitting up in that top spot. This, obviously having fun with it. This is gonna be a throwaway, but I mean, he's happy. He'd prefer if we didn't get a fourth run. He likes where he's at right now, I think.
Well, if time runs out, if we have a little bit of time left once we go through the run order, even if it's 10 seconds, we still will get another round of runs. Well, let's take a look at our monster athlete profile. Today, it's Colby Stevenson, who won this competition at X Games Aspen 2020.
I've always loved the slopestyle course here at X Games Aspen. They build big jumps and the rail section's always creative, so you're sure to see some of the best slopestyle runs in the world. Coming to my first X Games in 2020 and winning 2 golds was obviously a childhood dream come true, and honestly surreal. Like, when it was happening, it didn't feel like it was actually happening. It was just totally in the moment and amazing, and to finally get the invite and like have my family here supporting, that was what dreams are made of, and that was like the X Games magic. This year I'm just coming in with even more hunger and more focus, and gonna throw down some new tricks that I've been working on and hopefully link it all together in one run. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, he came in 2 years ago as a rookie, walked out of here with 2 gold medals. And by the way, he was the first X Games rookie to win gold in men's ski slopestyle. He currently finds himself in that number 6 position as of right now.
Colby known, and that year, a little different scoring with the overall impression. He landed 4, count them, 4 different amazing runs that year. So he's got everything. He's got all the tricks, all the combinations through these rails and jumps. He's just, like he said in that piece, got to put it all together. Starting things off with that double flat 1260. He is the only person in this event so far that's done that trick. So judges love that. Anytime you're doing something unique, a rotation that's different, gonna score well. Holds the grab, going 18. Oh, Colby Stevenson with an absolute banger of a run, going for the huge 1800, a trick we normally see only used in big air competitions there on the final jump of the slopestyle course, which is the jump we used last night for the big air event.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, you have 2 options on that last hit, and that right side one's the 70-footer that we used for that big air event last night.
Let's take a look. He's got the grab, gets the rotation around. If anything, to my eyes, looks like just didn't quite have enough air time, enough time to get his feet back under him. Needs to either spin that a little bit faster, flip a little bit quicker, or just pin it straight, go maximum speed, and take that jump to the bottom to get that huge 5 full rotation trick around.
So they do pause the time clock here while he collects his ski there. So as I was saying earlier, just to sort of recap the time thing, if there's even 10 seconds left on the clock once we get through this run order here, we do go into the next round and we finish out the entire run order to ensure that everybody gets the same amount of runs. So it's looking that we may be trending that way, Tom. We may get a 4th run here. As you said earlier, Andre would be happy to just have it at 3. He's sitting in that gold medal spot, but Mac Forehand, one of our X Games rookies, sitting in silver medal contention yet again, followed by Max Moffitt. And Evan McEachran needs to put one down here. He finds himself down in that 10th spot pre-run.
Yeah, Evan, known for rails, coming from the East Coast in Canada where they grow up skiing rails, but also he's got massive rotation switch. So I'm looking to the 3rd and final jump to see if we could potentially see a massive 1800 or at least the switch 1440s back to back. Here, looks spinning right side, then looking to mirror it, see if he does the switch left side 14. And he does 1440. Oh, and just having trouble. And Evan, the key with these tricks, and the reason the judges want to see this left and right, shows that ability to spin both directions. It's as if say today in the divisional round matchup, Tom Brady went out and threw with his left arm and his right arm. That's not going to happen, but that just shows the skill and athleticism involved to be able to spin both ways.
You had to bring it back to football again for 1 second. I love that about you, Tom. So tough break there for Evan. So it looks like we are trending towards a 4th and final run, which is what it will come down to for him as we take another look at Alex Hall, who finds himself in that number 8 spot.
This is a guy that is not used to being in that number 8 spot. I mean, he's used to being there for a little, but he likes to always put a run down, usually always comes and throws one down when we least expect it at the end. Let's see if he can continue that MO today. Right side, will he try to stop that rotation, pull it back?
Oh, what happened there?
That's exactly what we thought was, I kind of saw that before. He did a right side 1080 last time, and it might have looked sort of like awkward. What's he doing? What's wrong with this? What he's doing is twisting his hips, using his arms to do sort of an in-air pretzel. He gets all contorted, trying to bring that back to 900, and then he's going to do a big rotation on that last hit. So, I mean, he's hoping for that 4th and final run, I'll tell you what.
Well, to round out this round of runs, it is your defending gold medalist, Nick Gepper. Now, his previous run, he was down in the number 10 spot. He jumped up to 5. He's now been bumped back down to 7.
Oh, Nick still, I mean, every single one of these runs, he's having a little trouble with that top rail feature. Just awkward, jumping out of it, maybe a little forced, a little struggling, where normally we see so much perfection from him on the rails, so much practice. He's got a rail in his backyard in Salt Lake City that he trains on, and it's normally just his bread and butter. There's that 1440 to the left. See if we see the triple cork out of him here at the bottom. No, so knows it's another warm-up, throwaway, whatever you want to say, knows that run's not going to be enough. And with the time at 3 minutes left, and this is the last athlete to go as our reigning gold medalist, we're going to get one more run.
Yeah, he takes us out of the run order here, so still over 3 minutes to go. We are going to get a 4th and final round of runs, so it is still far from over here on the Jeep Slopestyle course. But after 3 rounds, it's Andre Rigettli sitting in the top spot, an X Games rookie looking at another silver, and Max Moffitt in 3rd. Who's getting the win? We'll find out when we come back to Aspen Snowmass.
Oh, finally alone with my Wendy's breakfast sandwich, honey butter chicken fish.
Jack!
Craig, stay back, dude!
Jack, why are you running? Don't run!
Leave me alone! Craig, you're making this weird. You're being weird.
Lost him. You didn't lose me, Jack.
Oh!
But you almost lost your free drink that comes with every Wendy's breakfast sandwich.
And that's why you're my best friend, and I was, of course, going to share this with you.
I find that hard to believe.
And that was our Wendy's looking. As you can see, lots of things going on out here at Buttermilk, but right now on the Jeep Slopestyle course, it is all business here. One more round of runs to go here in men's ski Slopestyle. So how we stand, it's Andre Rigettli sitting in the top spot, followed by Mac Forehand.
Yeah, the rookie out of Stratton, Vermont has come out swinging last night and today, but it's all Andre Rigettli right now. 2 big 1620s sitting in that top spot. But another run, anything can happen.
So again, it is live ranking. We'll throw it down before we get into this next round to Victoria Arlen once more.
Hey guys, I just want to kind of add a note up here with the conditions are changing pretty quickly. So a lot of guys are getting their skis adjusted, aggressively tightened, and people like James Woodsy had to kind of take a step back, take a little lap, and get dialed back in to get back out there.
So there you go, guys, making some changes here for this last round of runs. As we were saying, live ranking, you won't see numbers. Basically, it's overall impression of your best run. So that is our podium for now. However, this is still very much up for grabs because the entire field is going to get a final run here. So ignore that time clock. Here we go. It all comes down to this last round for Sebastian Sherva.
And good run that has him sitting in 4th, just off that podium. But a lot of athletes to go. I mean, 4th, not bad, but you obviously want to jump up. Little more technicality in the rails, and a perfect grab on the 2nd jump could bring a big score improvement for him. There's the switch right 1080. So if anything to talk about Sebastian's run, he's only got a right side rotation in the degrees of 1080, which a few years ago was enough, but nowadays you need massive rotations like that to be able to really stack up on the podium. But that's another great run. He misses one of his rail tricks up top that we saw in the run before, but the jump tricks are super solid and really, really technical, including that bottom hit. Look at this, diving forward, just incredible. Oh, gets the grab, takes a little bit there, but full 14 all the way around to 16. I mean, just a really cool rotation, the way he sort of double dips the bio and then takes it to there to switch all the way at the end.
He was in podium contention earlier. He got bumped out, and then he bumped himself back in, I believe, round number 2. But that is not going to be enough, so he is going to have to settle for 4th. As Max Moffitt holds on to that bronze medal spot for now. We still have 9 competitors left to go here. Here's another gentleman who found himself in that top 3, now finds himself in that number 5 spot. Can James Woods bounce back up?
Yeah, had such a great run, really, to get our whole day going, and had us off our feet right at first, but needs to up that level of difficulty. He's got more tricks in the bag. He's been known to do a bunch of different triple corks. He's got an X Games gold medal in big air. And here, starting the jumps off, the switch 1260. Let's see what he's got on the rest of the jumps.
You know, that feature we saw in him earlier that you mentioned, that's another one of those, like, I can't believe those things are all shot on iPhones.
Yeah, I mean, so cool, so well done. Oh, Woodsy, I think he wanted a little bit more out of that final rotation, maybe even the switch triple. It's a good run, but don't know if that's going to be enough to crack up into that podium.
So now we take a look at Max Moffitt. He finds himself on the bubble there in that bronze medal position, but you would love to give yourself some breathing room with a lot of names still to go here on the start list. Only his 2nd X Games appearance. So again, ignore that time clock. Once that runs out, we do finish out the run order. So everyone's going to get the same amount of runs here. See if Max Moffitt is able to give himself a little bit of breathing room here in run 4.
I mean, nailing that trick every single run, just so cool. Diving forward, there's not a lot of airtime there, so to be able to do that hand plant where he puts his hand on the rail and then get it all the way around is just incredible. I mean, the whole rail line is so good, which is, I think, why he's got such a high score, because these jumps are good, but we're seeing triple corks and 16s from some of the other athletes, so to keep up with that, he's got the technical rail. Look at this follow cam action in the air with him over this massive jump combination, diving forward. Wow, perfect landing for Max Moffitt on the double bio 1620. He's rolling on the ground in excitement.
He can't even believe it right now. What a reaction out of Max Moffitt.
I mean, look at this up top, dives forward, puts the hand down, the poles bang on that. You hear the noise of it. The landing so clean, such smooth style from Max. Here's that 1440. So again, left and right side rotations, a 14 and a right side 16. Judges need to see you spinning both directions down this course, and he does it with some major rotations. Does he get the grab? He does. The landing, big, clean. I mean, sitting in 3rd, is that enough to bump up? How does that compare to Mac Forehand and Andre Rigetli's run?
Oh my God. That bumps him back up into that silver medal spot. So that puts Mac Forehand now on the podium bubble. But what a run right there by Mr. Moffitt. I mean, his one prior slopestyle appearance, he finished 13th. And right now he's looking at a possible silver medal as we bring in Christian Numedal for his 4th and final run.
He's gonna have to dodge a lot of bullets, a lot of athletes dropping in. Oh, with capabilities, but just like that, one down. Christian just trouble up top on the rails, which is kind of uncharacteristic. He usually doesn't do maybe the absolute most technical rail run, but he's always clean through it.
Right side double 1440.
1440 to the right.
The bobble up top.
Doing some smooth jumps. He's still going to do these for us, but that bobble up top all but eliminates him from podium contention. There's a switch 12, 14 just for fun.
Landing. Best switch landing in the game. You can quote me on that one.
Yeah, the thing is,
getting ready for ski season? Hey Siri, tell me more about Apple Fitness Plus.
So here we go, taking a look at the massive size and scope of this Jeep Slopestyle course. Again, you've got 3 rail sections at the top, followed by 3 jump sections there. Mac forehand was in a silver medal spot. He now finds himself in a bronze position. Can he bounce up and give himself a little bit of breathing room here in this last go-around?
If anybody can, I can think of nobody better. Mac has been on the tear lately. Oh! So technical. He's going for that trick tip that he gave us earlier, the switch 270 pretzel, but I mean, he's got a great run. Sitting in that 3rd place position, just got bumped out of 2nd, but it's still an incredible run. And with only 5 riders left to drop, he could have a chance at staying on that podium, but there's still a lot of talent left.
Well, just throwing this out there, of those 5, 4 of them are on the outside looking in, including your defending gold medalist from last year. Nope. Mac is sitting in that bronze spot for now. The question is, will it hold up with 5 skiers left to go? This is your current leader. We mentioned it before, had a rough outing in Big Air last night and was looking for redemption, and he found it earlier in this competition. Can he hang on and take a gold here in Slopestyle today?
Had a great run, big jump rotations. More known for the jumps more than anything. A lot of front side spins out of these rails, but clean nonetheless. And here, it's on the jumps that he excels. He's got additional tricks all the way up to quadruple corks that he's capable of. So, a little back seat. And frustration mounting, but Andre sitting in that 1st place position. He does have a couple heavy hitters left to come that have a chance to take him out of that top spot, but still, I mean, such a great performance today after coming off a couple big crashes last night in Big Air.
Yeah, of our 4 remaining competitors here, 3 of them are former gold medalists in this event.
So they know how to lay it all down.
Including the last guy that gets to go. He's won this thing 4 times. Talking about Nick Gepper.
Yeah, no place is safe. Even sitting in 1st right now, technically Andre could still be bumped completely off of the podium, and it's not impossible. There's so much talent left in these 4 guys left to go, including this guy. I mean,
yeah, Colby, one of those former gold medalists in this event. He got it 2 years ago.
Oh, and again, a bobble up top. I mean, maybe just the rails warming up today. The sun is out and the snow is starting to loosen up, get a little slushier, a little more slow and sticky perhaps, and just everybody seems to be struggling to maintain and get that perfect speed. 1260 there, that double flat spin is so cool. Switch 1440 is amazing. And here, the big switch 16.
As we mentioned, he got that gold medal in 2020. It was his X Games rookie appearance, first X Games rookie to win men's ski slopestyle. So with 3 more skiers to go, again, it's Andre Rigetli in the top spot, Max Moffitt and Max Forehand rounding out the podium. Evan McEachran set to take his 4th and final run. Evan, he's down there at the bottom, and again, don't count him out just because he's at the bottom. I mean, basically, you don't see scores, but it boils down to best run and the overall impression that we keep talking about here. So this is still doable for everybody left in the field.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's the beauty of this format, where it's best run and you have a couple opportunities, is that you're never out of it. And Evan, so good already up top. He really has been just struggling a bit all day on his technicality on these rails, and I think he's finally threw those rails clean enough to have the confidence to go all out on these jumps. Let's see if we could see something absolutely huge on the bottom jump. That's where he's got the potential to do a 14 or even up to an 1800, which could catapult him up into a big spot. And he's going, 1600, 1620, excuse me, not quite enough hang time to get around on that final jump. So taking another look at these bottom two jumps, this is where we needed to see something big. And he does a 1440 to the right, which is 4 full rotations that direction. And here at the bottom, he's looking for the signature switch 1800, but just doesn't quite get the takeoff and the pop, not enough speed. So comes around, and that's just, you know, that backseat landing, the way it is, not gonna be enough.
He does own 2 medals in this event. He's got a silver from Aspen 2020 and bronze from last year in this event, but not going to be enough here in 2022. Here comes Alex Hall, who currently finds himself in that number 9 position.
Yeah, Alex, I mean, you can't count him out. I can't tell you how many events I've watched and called where there's one run left, one more chance, and he's able to throw it all down, clean through those rails with a really technical pretzel 450 out of that bottom one. It's this second jump that he's been having trouble. He's trying to do that double cork 900 with a signature pullback back to switch. He gets it. Could we see a huge 1800 or something massive on the bottom? He does that 1800 Alex Hall on the 4th and final run.
I mean, you want to talk about a pressure situation and delivering with only one skier left to go after him right there. Alex Hall has delivered here on the Jeep Slopestyle course.
I mean, coming off of a gold medal last night, this is that signature grab, the Buick, Japan, tail reaching across. Let's go of it a bit early, but it's such a big rotation, comes all the way around. I mean, gets the landing. The judges love that grab too. He's the only athlete here in the field doing it. That's gonna be a heavy improvement. Where does it put him?
He was
up on the podium.
Again, 9th pre-run, and where does it put him? Oh, and it bumps Mac forehand out, so it puts Alex Hall in that bronze medal position. Tough break for the rookie Mac forehand, but Alex Hall delivers when it counts in this 4th and final run, and we have one skier left to go who is also on the outside looking in, and he just happens to be a 4-time winner of this event and your defending gold medalist from last year. It's Nick Gepper.
Oh, so much on the line right now for Nick Gepper. And there, he's had trouble being a little sketchy on that top rail features the entire day. And so far, this run is so much better. Each of those rail features pretzeling out onto these jumps where we've been seeing him warm up on that bottom jump for a potential triple cork. He's gonna need something absolutely massive on that bottom jump to keep up with the level today. No, Nick going way too big on that second jump and going down hard.
He took a heavy knock on that one. You could see the frustration as he kicks off the skis there.
Oh, just too much speed into that second jump for Nick, and really brutal crash there with a chance to really kind of shake things up there in that 4th run.
Well, it's good to see that he's sitting upright right now. Talking to X Games Medical there, but man, what a heavy hit trying to send it there at the end of this contest. You see him moving around, talking over, and great to see him stand up, getting ready to walk off under his own power right there. So a heavy, heavy hit there for Nick Gepper, but you love to see it when they get back up and walk away, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a warrior. I mean, so tough. Back up.
And with that crash right there by Nick, that means Andre Rigelli is going to hang on and get the win. That's his 2nd slopestyle gold medal. Max Moffitt gets his first piece of X Games hardware, taking the silver, and Alex Hall walks away with the bronze here on the Jeep slopestyle course. Speaking of the Jeep slopestyle course, coming up next, we've got women's snowboard slope right here on the Jeep slopestyle course. And then we've got women's ski superpipe as well. So stick around, still plenty to come here from X Games Aspen 2022. After this message and a word from our ABC stations.